Good morning. I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Who is your daddy and what does he do? Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Hello everyone and welcome to Hivecast. This is another Meet the Player video, and with me today is Obraxis. You might know him as the lead playtester of NS2 playtests. So hello Obraxis.
Hello Arclight, thank you for having me.
So, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Just playing some NS2.
Playing. So, let's cut to the business. Who are you, where do you come from, and what do you do for a living?
My online nick is Obraxis, and I come from the UK. I'm currently living in South Wales, which is a small country to the left-hand side of England. And for a living, what I do is I do computer animation. I'm an animator, so I work on films, TV shows, that kind of thing.
Oh, nice. And can you tell us your age? Or did you say it? I forgot.
No, I turned 30 in July.
Okay, so as I said in the earlier videos, the average age of gaming community today is between like 14 and 20, but considering NS is pretty much 10-year-old game and we were all kids back then, now we're all between 25 and 30.
Yep.
So you're
we've all got on a bit.
Yeah, so you're another person that supports my theory there. So let's just skip this. I'm gonna ask directly, how did you find out about NS2?
Well, I was already a playtester of NS1 back in the day, towards the end of NS 3.2, I think. So I kind of was already involved in the community, but I've been a player of NS. I actually didn't play it when it first came out. I played it when it was just after 1.0. I had some friends who were playing it at their house, and I was like, what is that game? It looks so cool. And I just went home and downloaded it, and I've not stopped playing it ever since.
Yeah, so that's, you can say, the one game that stuck with you.
Yeah, it's just I couldn't find another game that was anything like NS. Just nothing that had the same atmosphere, the same team play. So I just couldn't stop playing, and I still haven't stopped.
Yeah, that's the only problem, unfortunately. Today, the NS2 public is not as nearly close to skill level the NS2 was, but we're gonna give it a try because it's still a young game. It's been out for general public for the past, what, 2 months?
Yeah, exactly. When NS1 was out, I remember that no one was that great at the game. People was learning that, and it took people a very long time to get to the skill level where they are right now, because a lot of NS1 skill can transfer over quite easily to NS2.
Yeah, especially the aim. I mean, considering the Sona, man, they are lacking the game mechanics currently, but they're getting there. But their aim transitioned perfectly into NS2.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you play any first-person shooter, you can quite easily grasp at least the marine side, but the alien side and the tactical side of the game is definitely unique and takes some time to learn.
Like your skulking, for example. You're just preying on those marines.
Well, yeah, because you can tell people are new in the NS2 universe because they never look up. Whereas if you're a pro, you're constantly looking up. So I just kind of skulk around the ceiling.
Okay, let's see your theory again then. I just gave you a heads up there, but this guy is turning on the flashlight. Let's see this. I want to see this. Oh, he's looking into the ceiling. He's waiting for his buddy there. No, but he was not looking at that particular spot. He's saying, come at me, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think I got him and his bro.
Yeah. So let's talk about Yo Clan for a bit.
Yeah,
Who's
sure.
the original founder of that?
Well, Yo Clan is probably, if not the one of the oldest NS clans around that are still around right now. it was founded originally not as an NS clan, but as actually a Counter-Strike clan back in 1999 by Muzza and Sparrow. And those two guys just were friends who were playing Counter-Strike 1, the very first version, and they were like, hey, we should form a clan and play that. And so Yo Clan was born. And then when NS came out, they were like, oh, maybe we've got some friends who want to try this out, maybe we should have a division. And so Yo started to divide up and had several different divisions. Well, originally Yo was not just a public clan, it was a competitive clan. So they were playing constantly in various tournaments like Clan Base, EG, and they were playing like every other day kind of thing, and keeping an eye on different wars that were going on. And NS was also kind of there were clan wars going on as well, and tournaments, but gradually as the years went by, the Counter-Strike division kind of wound down. But NS kept going and expanding, and then Yo eventually just turned into a outright NS clan.
So you took over the lead, or did somebody else?
Actually, I've never been lead of Yo. There's after Muzza and Sparrow left, there were a few other leaders, but around 2004 or 5, it essentially descended into just a full-out democracy where there's no one leader. And what happened with that was that we all just kind of had a democracy where we could just vote on a particular thing, and the more votes we had, the things got done.
So what would you say was the status of the current competitive scene?
I think, well, the NS2 competitive scene is doing really, really well. I've not seen the scene like this since back at NS1 level. I mean, just seeing the amount of clans that have formed recently, and especially how popular ENSL gathers have been, and the tournament, I think we're in a really great place. And now with the Steam sale picking up a load of new players, I think we're going to be in an even better place, because loads of people who may not have considered NS2 playing before might now decide, hey, NS is a really great competitive game, and might join in even more. So I think the future's bright.
Yeah, I also hope for NS2 to pick up a bit more than it does now. And do you see the public actually forming up? Unfortunately, we do not see that many consecutive players in the game, which is a shameful thing, but we do see the game actually progressing in the direction we would like it to. So what?
Yeah, well, it's a development process, isn't it? I mean, NS1 had many, many years of change and balance and things like that, and we're going to have the same with NS2 because it's only just come out, so it's only going to get better.
Yeah, so would you have any advices for NS2 players, be them casual or competitive?
Yeah, just listen to your team. Your team is how you win or lose. The more games you play, the better you'll get at it. I know it sounds simple, but that's basically what it is. It's like anything else. The more you play, the better you will get at it.
Oh, you ran into a wall of bullets there.
A wall of bullets, yeah.
I didn't want to give you heads up on that one.
That's alright. It's my own fault.
Yeah, you became too greedy. So,
Yeah.
how is the NSL League going out for you?
Well, Yo Clan, we've only just started playing competitive games again after, like, not playing competitively since, like, the mid-2000s, so, we're all still pretty new at, getting the community together and playing together, because we don't practice anywhere near as much as we should. So I think considering that we're pretty much, this is our first go, I think we're doing okay, even though I think we might be bottom of our league. I still think that we're learning, we're getting better, because competitive play and public play is mostly what we've all played, is completely different in a lot of respects. So we're learning, we're actually watching all the live streams of all the other matches, we're doing a lot more private clan games now against others, especially in higher divisions, just so we can get an idea of like what tactics we're doing wrong or right, and what we should do in the future.
Right, so Would you have any advice for good NS2 sites for people that want to learn more about NS2?
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on NS2 Hub. That's pretty awesome. ENSL, obviously. The official forums, even though the quality is not always there, there's a lot of information on there which people can read. And also yoclan.co.uk.
Aha, so we're gonna also come to that one as well. You said, what would you say? Actually, that's the one question I would ask rather you than anyone else. Would you say that NS2 could use NS2 wiki?
Well, there is a NS2
really?
wiki.
Now, where's
Yep.
that one? Why haven't I seen it? Or why can't you Google it?
I don't know why you can't Google it. It's definitely public. I think it's unknownworlds.com/ns2/wiki. I think, but it's definitely there.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at it.
I think it's there anyway. But yeah, it's public. It's constantly updated. I know that a lot of the moderators, like Kuji-san, has been updating a lot of stuff recently with anything new that goes in, like console commands and things.
Especially that one. That was very helpful. The console commands also help with casting as well. I also just couldn't get what was Hughes talking about. The spectating system got a change, he said. You can speed up with shift and slow down with alt. But aren't those keys by default taken for something else? Because
So,
shift
yeah.
for me is actually going up, you know. When you're holding shift, you're going up.
Right.
So I'm going vertically up through the ceiling.
I can't really comment too much on the spectate system because I don't really have much to do
Well,
with
that's
it.
pretty much all I have to do with it. Let's get back to the questions in hand. Do you see the future of YoClan on competitive scene? Are you coming back to it?
Yeah, the ENSL tournament was our way of trying to get back into the competitive side because a lot of us do have some free time in the evenings and at weekends now. So, whereas a lot of us before NS2 came out, we were all studying or we were actually busy a lot. Whereas now a lot of the older YoClan members have come back and are actually playing, if not playing public, then are definitely getting more involved in the gather side and the ENSL
Yeah,
league.
so I hope you guys stay here because unfortunately we had a lot of disbands during the first season of ENSL. But we do have a lot of new clans coming for the season 2, especially now with this Steam holiday sale brought up a lot of new players.
Exactly.
And I can see at least 10 if not 15 new clans forming.
Well, as I say, YoClan is one of the, if not the oldest NS clan in existence, so we're not going anywhere anytime soon, and we'll probably see how ENSL goes. I mean, we mostly play just for fun. We love the game. Even if we lose, we learn. So even if we go down a division next season, we probably will enter next season.
Yeah, that's the only actually way you can learn is by losing to somebody. If you're constantly winning, then actually you're not doing anything good. The other team's doing something wrong.
Yeah. This is why I think that if not this season, then next we'll start seeing ARC lose a lot more games because there's a lot of teams out there that are trying out new things, new tactics, new ways, and because ARC are not losing so much, they are not learning against any new possibilities, shall we say. So I think the future is going to be very interesting.
You, that gorge, run away with what, 3%? Okay, so next thing in line is, what are your hopes for NS2 future and where do you see it develop?
I would love to see NS2 take off even more than it has. I think that the game has huge potential, especially in esports. It just needs that extra push to help show how awesome it can be. I was at game. I was in Germany, and I got to help out at the NS2 booth at Gamescom, and seeing the huge crowds for League of Legends and StarCraft just made me think we could get NS2 up there. We could. It has the potential, and all it takes is us pushing it as far as we can, telling our friends just all about the game and getting them involved in it. And I think that is the future.
Yeah, I really do hope for NS2 to come out, because that would really mean much. I mean, considering not just for me as a caster as a community helper, you can call it, but as people, other people who take enjoyment of the game. Gosh, I can't form a freaking sentence. So let me form it like this: it would not help me as a caster; it would help everyone else.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm of the opinion that once performance in NS2 has gone up a bit, we'll get a lot more people. But not only that, I think that maybe NS2 will not be the game that makes it. Maybe a total conversion will be the thing that pushes NS2 sales to the max, like you know, like Dota did with Warcraft 3. Maybe something will come along from the modding community that will just completely push things over the top.
No, those two boiling gorges in support are total help to you. While you're chasing that marine, they're taking down the freaking power phase gate. Also, let's talk something about as you're being a the playtest lead. But we're gonna stick to something that does not break the NDA. So how many people are are inside the playtest group? Yeah.
How many did you say? Before we released NS2, I think we were closer to around 80 to 100 or something, maybe, because we took on a lot of people. And I think right now we're probably down to around 30, 40. Now this is active people, by the way. This isn't like the total amount, but like the active people right now, I think we've got 30, 40.
So what's your job as a playtester?
My job as lead is to make sure that the game is as bug-free as possible with every release that we do. Obviously, it can't catch everything, but it's my job to organize, help organize the playtests, because we have two groups. We have the EUPT, which is the European playtesters, and the NAPT, which is the North American playtesters. And it's my job to make sure that they run smoothly, that the game-breaking bugs don't make it in the game, and that we catch any and all bugs.
So what
that we
would you say?
can.
What's the percentage of the bugs that actually make through the playtesting?
Well, a lot, clearly, but I mean, we have something called Mantis, which is part of what Unknown Worlds use to help track all the bugs, and there still are a lot of bugs that are known. So most bugs that people post on the forums, most of them probably have already been caught. It's just a case of working through them and finding the correct fix, because it's not just about fixing them, it's finding the correct fix. But we do try and keep an eye on the game breakers mostly as the part of the playtest group, because no one wants a build to go out that's broken, and it tends to be a rare thing that a hotfix has to go out, but if it does, it usually means that we've played it to death, and it's this weird thing that's happened that means that it's a one-off, that we haven't caught something. Every now and again, unfortunately, something slipped by. We can't help it, we're human, but we do our best to get the game into the best state it can be before it releases.
So can you say at least an ETA on new features we all know will come, but like ETA not like it's gonna be in the next build, it's gonna be in 2 weeks, but ETA in something like the quarter 1 next year, the quarter 2, about the dynamic infestation. I know that's something a very big number of people are waiting for, because
oh, you mean the
the original prototype, because
video.
Pretty now everyone knows that cysts are the main reason the netcode is a bit bugged, because they're taking a lot of things. They're the reason the FPS is dropping, and they're pretty much the reason behind the optimization.
I know that one of the new programmers, Steve, he worked on the latest version
The
of
rich one, yeah.
Infestation, you know, the slightly richer version. I know the plan is eventually to have it looking more like the original prototype, but because it's mostly a visual thing, that it's going to be on the back burner, I think, till against like real bugs or brand new features going in. That's not to say they won't work on it. I just don't think it's a priority.
So it's not going to be anytime soon, by your opinion.
I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah,
so.
I would have to kind of agree on that. The systs are currently working very good. The only thing I would like to see is something that a lot of people are proposing, and that's the ability for Gorge to coexist a bit more with Commander, and for example, taking a building that Commander dropped on the ground and place it somewhere on the wall.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, the best thing to do with that is actually to email Charlie if you have any ideas for new features and things, because he will consider every single idea, and when I say consider, he will actually think about it, and he'll always have it in the back of his mind when he's thinking of other features as well. So he's completely open to ideas from anywhere. He's taken on some of my ideas, he's taken on some of the playtester ideas, he's taken on some people from the forums, you know, so it's a case of whether it works for the game, and just email him, and if he thinks it does, then it might make it in.
Okay, so you would say that the Google moderator thing is not just a hoax, as many people are saying.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, I get to speak to Charlie most days, and he thinks that Google moderator thing is probably the future on how he wants to discuss things with the community, like for features and things. So even though people don't think he reads them, he reads almost everything. The guy just spends most of his time like looking and thinking about the game. So yeah, I mean, he might not reply, but that doesn't mean he hasn't read it or thought about it. So definitely put your ideas up there.
Okay, so the Google moderator thing is the way to go. Do you have
Oh, definitely.
any eye on the upcoming new clans? Has anyone stuck to your mind here?
I actually don't know of a lot of the newer clans.
The newer clans
Is that what you mean?
popped out during the CNSL season.
Yeah, I think what was the one? It was a French clan.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah,
Be
Be Water,
Water
My
or
Friend.
something like that. What's the name? I can't remember. Yeah, Be Water, My Friends. I think if we didn't play those guys, I think I've seen one of their games and I thought they were great. So I'm kind of following those guys quite a lot.
Okay,
so I hope they do well.
That's something else I have to keep an eye out for, because unfortunately I haven't had many casts in the Division 2 games, because I find Division 3 games very, very interesting. The lower
Yeah,
divisions are more like
you mean-
friendly, casual matches, but Division 3 is the one that's trying to be very competitive, but yet it's not, you know.
Yeah, well, I also think that because they're not bound by what has been happening before, a lot of the newer clans in Division 3 are coming up with very interesting tactics as well. Sometimes not so good,
Well,
but
if you want
sometimes very
to heads
interesting.
up, my personal favorite is the Grahanduri. So grab a seat and take a look at my channel on some of their games. I think you really might like them.
Oh, excellent! I will definitely, because I try to watch as many games as I can, but I've only got so much limited time between my job and
Just so
playtesting.
you know, Marines recycled all of their infantry portals, so get in and kill them all.
Bye bye,
Just
Marines.
not to keep the other Marines waiting that are dead by a few time here. So what are your hours of play, considering you got a lot of obligations?
I think, well, with playtests, because we do play games as well during playtests, we don't just check for bugs. I think a night I usually play between 4 and 6 hours a night,
And
most
chance
nights.
of people encountering, you know, some public servers, and which ones would that be?
Command station under attack.
I mostly play on the Yo Clan server, obviously, because I like to keep it popular, but I haven't been able to join our own server myself, because we haven't got res slots on there yet, and it's constantly full. So if I'm not on the Yo Clan server, I'm usually on Skull Crush if that's up, or I'm playing on an American server because sometimes I like to mix it up and see what other countries are doing, like with tactics and just stuff like that. So I'll be a random
Okay,
one, like
then.
All In or something.
So, I'm not gonna ask pretty much other questions now because I think I've asked pretty much all I wanted. But there is one more thing. What do you who would you recommend for the next interview?
I would probably say you should try and grab someone like Wasabi
Oh,
or
those
Hugh.
are guys that are very hard to catch. I'm trying to set up co-cast with those guys,
you
and I
need-
started casting in May. Now it's Christmas time, and you know where I've gotten with that.
Yeah.
Snowball fights.
Okay, well
snowball
maybe
fights.
Lancer, maybe Lancer from Skull Crush, get his opinion on where the game is and how it's going and things, because it might be a very different opinion from other people's. So I think he would be a good guy
Okay,
to talk
then
to for
you'll have to set
contrast.
me a deal with Lancer. I was trying to set up some of the old
Yep, I can
players,
pass you on.
something maybe more the beta players know than the new players, but still hard to catch old people.
Yeah, lots of family obligations now that we're all.
Oh my god,
older.
I haven't seen the Summit and Christmas edition. No. I've
Oh,
seen
really?
everything.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think
the
it's the
Veil
best
one,
one,
but
actually.
this is actually very good. It looks more summity.
Yeah, I think Mark did this at the
So,
Worlds,
tell him like this, because
map
this
the
is
team.
called Summit and it's snowy. I know the Mandasp is doing the map. I'm talking with him about few stuff because I am on the map playtester side. Remove this Christmas lights and remove those presents and snowmen and really live this ready room like it is. And it's gonna feel summity, you know.
Well, I think Mendasp and Mark are working on Summit right now. I know Mendasp is wanting to do layout changes, and Mark's kind of touching it up here and there. So I think
Yeah,
the two of them
I did
together
give
are
a
working on it.
few of the propositions of how the map should look and my feel about it. And that's really one of the good reasons the atrium is looking like it's looking now. I said that it gave too long line of sight if there is no those stairs, you know, and the ramp that leads to the RT position.
Yeah.
So he put that one
Yeah.
back in. He kind of put that RT in that place in last second with those boxes to cover it. So RT position was his idea, but the stairs were kind of mine. I like the old stairs. The ninja approach to the hive, you had that ladder, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I preferred some of the older layouts,
Yep.
but I think this one might play better.
Yeah,
I think
and
I preferred it for the visuals mostly.
ventilation now finally visible from spectator side. You can see the rocks and everything. Pretty much nothing you could see before.
Yeah.
I really do like the changes. So again, Obraxis, thank you for your time, man. Of course, of
All
course.
right. If I could just say one more thing. We are looking for new North American playtesters and also European, but mostly North American. So if anyone feels up to it, you can email me at abraxis.com@gmail.com, or you can apply on the forums, and the NS2 forums in general discussion. There'll be a thread in there that you'll be able to have a look at soon, and just apply to be a playtester because we're in need of some new people to help test out some of the new stuff that goes in the new year.
NDA is applied.
Oh yes, of course.
And you
NDA
have to
is
be over
applied,
18
which means you
years.
can't show your friends. Yes, you do, and you have to own a
And
copy of
you will not
NS2
get a
or
black
not give you
armor
a
for
copy.
it. Some people still think you get black armor for
You will
playtesting,
not,
but
no.
those were revoked.
Yeah, that was an accidental thing due to some kind of valve mess up. I believe. It wasn't meant to, so no. You don't get anything except their
Yeah.
eternal gratitude.
So one more question: do you feel sorry for paying $40 back in those days?
Mm-hmm. Of course not. I mean, if you think about it, World of Warcraft, you pay, was it $9.99 a month? That's like just 4 months of that. And yet with NS2, you pay once and you get it for life, and you can play as much as you want because if the servers go down, you put up another. So it's
Yeah,
it's a
definitely.
bargain price.
I will also use this video to announce one more thing, and that will be a 100 subscriber special. I'm getting close to that one. I would like to make somebody, you know, to make an art. Like, I will give an example during this time I'm talking about it. Rentology made me a Hivecast Invitational for my tourneys. Those are put to pause because of the ENSL and everything, because I get some obligations from that, but not that many, but more due to the real life ones. So, get back to the chase. The thing is, 100 subscriber special will involve some fan art, and I know there will not be that many entries, but once we reach 100 subscribers, I'm gonna make a video about it. I'm gonna give you a few more examples, what I'm looking for, and one lucky person will get a free key. Yeah, I finally got to the stage where I can afford a
Very
few
nice.
free keys. Not free keys for me, but free keys for the people, you know? So I hope everyone enjoyed this. Again,
Cool.
thank you, Obraxis.
That's alright, thank you very much, Arclight, for having me.
Yeah, thank you for this.
That's
This
all right,
is gonna
thank
be
you very
the
much,
longest
Arclight, for having me.
interview, but we talked about pretty much everything. So I'm very happy about it. Hope we see each other, if nothing else, on the other side of the crosshairs. Well, actually, through the mouth or through the crosshairs.
Yep.
Of course,
I'm
of
sure
course.
we'll all die
So,
many times between us.
Hope everyone enjoyed this, and guys, see you next time.
Alright, bye.